What's up, tubulars? Glad to be vlogging again. It's been a couple of weeks. I think it's been a couple of weeks since I've vlogged because I've been doing these like tutorial how-tos and reviews. A lot of it's being filmed right now. I just haven't launched all of it because I'm still in the process, especially when it comes to like the reviews, because I don't like to just pull something out of the box and say like, hey, I recommend this. Like, I actually want to give it a turn, you know, like I want to give it a try. And I have to say, I realize how much easier vlogging is. Even with all the B-roll, it's so much easier for me. Now, there are reviewers out there, how-to and unboxings and YouTubers like that might say, like, there's no way I could vlog. No way. Anyway, speaking of which, no way that I have lived, like, in this area, not like in this particular town that I'm in, but just in the, like, literally, like, the area. Like, my kids are playing soccer not too far from here, and I've never been here. This is a beautiful place. Check it out. So I know we all, or at least some of us or many of us, actually look to each other for inspiration. And the No Small Creator community, I've actually been following Cody Wanner for quite some time, since he started daily vlogging pretty much close to the beginning of 2018. So Cody, I actually have been following you for a while. I haven't really been active as far as like commenting or getting into the group so much, but I have to say that I have the utmost respect for you, and this was something that I was going to share with my community because it happened, like, was it this week? What week are we in? Last week. And it's some of that entrepreneurial, like, roadblock and hurdle, if that's what you really call it. It's just sort of that fork in the road and figuring out, okay, where am I going to put all of my effort into, and what do I have to cut out to do that? So what do I have to say no to so that I can say yes to these other things? So let me explain. All right, felt like I had to kind of sit for this one, at least this part. So Cody, I have to say to you, you've definitely inspired me. You've inspired me before, you continue to inspire me, but today's video that you posted, and I'll link that up here for the community on this channel that has no idea who you are or what this video is about, but what it was for me was just sort of a push to get my story out there, because I was going to talk about this because this happened to me recently in my own business. And so as an entrepreneur, I'm always looking for ways to diversify my portfolio, my income streams. And for those of you out there that are looking for passive income streams, you know, versus something where you have to be more active, I mean, I have to say, nothing is really passive. You still have to invest time and money, energy into something, but there are other businesses, or at least other tasks, that may require more of your time. So yeah, there is that, and that's kind of what I want to talk about, because this was something very similar that Cody, you had talked about in at least your video, and I know it's not exactly the same, but very similar, I think, as far as there is some overlap here, and I'll explain. So just recently, I've decided that I really, really want to make a go at this, like, creative thing going on here. Like, I really want to make a go of it. So I want to be a filmmaker. I want to do YouTube as like a vertical and like create here and get better and become an influencer in some way, you know, to motivate people, to influence someone or something, to like move the needle. So just to kind of be present on YouTube. So like, that's one of the verticals that I really want to work on. But I also want to do filmmaking and photography professionally, which we are. So I have a business with my business partner Marie, Glass and Sparrow, and we're actually doing work. And we've got some paid work coming up in the very near future, and, you know, like, really excited about that opportunity. But I also own a healthcare consulting company. So for those of you who follow me on this channel, you may know that I'm a registered nurse. And for those of you that are new to this channel, I'm a registered nurse. And I busted my butt to actually go back to school and to get that training, well, to get the education and then do the training beyond that to be able to do what it is that I do. And so I own a consulting company. After years of experience, like I have grown that company over the last decade, and it's doing really, really well. And I'm very passionate about that aspect of my career, like to be a nurse. But one of the things that's really, really hard is to actually be a CEO of that company when I want to do these things. Nursing can be very creative, but this is definitely something that is very different, and a very different like switch that I have to like flip every time when I need to move into that space, because obviously people's lives very different, and it's very important to me. But this is also very important to me as well. I just realized that I had to move from that space because I got to head back to the soccer fields to go pick up some of my kids here, or some of the team. So anyway, I wanted to kind of move on. So where were we? Okay, so talked about the healthcare company, and so that's actually doing really, really well. It really is, and I'm super stoked about it. I'm super passionate about it. But what I have to say is that by wanting to make a go of this, it was the same thing when I started this company, this business that now has, like, I've built teams and it's been around for a while and we serve a lot of people. So it's not really just me or a couple of other people. Like, there's like livelihood that's involved here. There are people that are relying on this business to be successful. So not wanting to be selfish and, you know, having it all and using that business as like an ATM, or just kind of having this salary or this kind of cush, which is not really cush, but just to say, okay, well, this is my company, I can do whatever I want with it, which I can, but I have to do the responsible thing, because again, there are people that are relying on it. My point is that, I think, have I said that? Do I keep saying like my point is? Really, my point is, hold on, my arm's getting tired, is that I need to deleverage myself from that business. So it's not that I'm really saying no to it, but I need to at least say a full yes to this creative business. So as the CEO of the company, not just the owner, but the one that's actually managing the executive operations of the business, you know, I've had to make an executive decision to essentially fire myself. So many of you might be saying, but yeah, you own the company, you could have a salary, or you can take out profits, or you can, you know, use it or to however advantage that you need to, or if this fails, you can go right back to it and get your job back because you own the business. Honestly, it doesn't work like that. I would never do that to someone and then say like, well, this YouTube thing didn't really work out for me. This video thing's not working out. Sorry, gotta let you go. I want my job back. That would not be the good thing to do in this, you know, venue. All right, so I'm in the middle of this like frisbee golf field, so I'm just checking things out to make sure that I don't get like hit in the head. But if you see me get knocked out, just grab the SD card, cut the vlog for me, and then upload it. That would be awesome. All right, seriously though, folks, I literally had made the executive decision to remove myself from those operations. I can pile on so much work. I can do so many things. But it does make people feel uncomfortable thinking like, when is this gonna all break? When is this all going to crumble? So like, I have a very high cadence, and there was a point where I was working 100-hour weeks and not sleeping much, and certainly not doing anything for self-care but work. However, I know like my mind has shifted, knowing that I need more sleep and I need to actually work out. So I do exercise and I take care of myself, because I can really attack the day much better when I do those things. That's beside the point though. I understand that I have this family. So my wife works full time. She makes huge sacrifices. We have 3 boys. It's very intense and it's exciting at the same time, and very expensive. And I have a responsibility here. So even though like I fired myself from these operations, these, you know, making this executive decision, I still have to figure out ways to monetize. And I believe in myself to make this channel work, and I believe in myself to make Glass and Sparrow work. But in the meantime, I actually have to freelance in my own company. In the company that I created, I'm gonna be a freelancer. So I'm gonna be an independent contractor in that business, so that I can at least generate some revenue. And these are clients that really wanna work specifically with me. So it's all gonna work out, and I can manage that because there's not the executive operation stuff. It's just like this freelance work, and I can definitely do that on top of this channel and Glass and Sparrow. So that's kind of where I am, at least from that point. So some of you, like I said, may be saying like, well, did you really fire yourself? It really seems like you're still taking advantage of it. Like, listen, like, I just know how to pivot. And I also know that to some of you, it may not be like I'm jobless or I'm unemployed, but trust me, it's very different. So like, I have to go out there and get it. Like, I literally have to go get it. I got to make it. And Cody, it's not the exact situation where I had business partners that I had to answer to, but I definitely have people that I have to answer to and that I'm responsible for. So again, not the exact same situation. However, I have to say, like, I was wondering when this was coming for you, because at the pace that you're working, the cadence is very high, and I get it. I've done it. I know it. But at some point I knew you were going to be deleveraging yourself. Like, I knew that was going to happen. And you know what? I think it's totally amazing for you. And I think you're going to be a success. And for those of you that are thinking about something similar, to make a YouTube channel work or some other business work, but you have a job and you have responsibilities, because trust me, I am extremely involved in my family, like to no end. I mean, it is hustle. You have to self-assess. You have to look at your own situation to understand whether this is something that you can do. For me, like, I have assessed, I know this is something I've been working toward. I've been setting it up for quite a while, so I know that I can do it, and I believe in myself enough. You know, it's so funny too, because Casey Neistat actually put out a video yesterday, and kind of building off of what Elon Musk was saying on Rogan's podcast, on Joe Rogan's podcast, and this whole thing of, like, you know, scrolling through Instagram and watching these vlogs and then watching sort of this like pristine and perfect life. You know, I don't think all vloggers are like that, and I don't think all people on Instagram are like that. I mean, you know, Cody, I know you're trying to be real, and some people probably assume, like, is this guy really that happy all the time? And I think there are plenty of vloggers out there that people look at and think, like, this is just not real. I mean, the thing is like, for those of you who are not vloggers or creating content like this, I mean, you can only make eating cereal so interesting. So, you know, maybe we're not vlogging like every aspect of our life, because ultimately I can't be shoving this camera in people's faces all the time, especially with some of the work that I'm doing, because it's confidential. But what I will say is that for me, you know, authenticity is important, and being able to not just tell a story, but tell the story that's actually happening to me. So again, like, it's not every aspect of, like, every minute of every day that I can share, because again, there gets to be a point where maybe it's just not interesting, or it just doesn't convey with the story. I don't even know how I shifted off of, like, being fired or, you know, removing myself from this and going over to what Casey and Elon Musk were saying about, you know, transparency and authenticity and stuff. But I guess what I'm just saying, Cody, I appreciate you sharing that. I appreciate everybody out there sharing their stories, and it's real and it's raw, and I think that's okay. If you feel comfortable with it, you know, I think, you know, people will appreciate it. It's hard out here to not just create content, but to really be vulnerable and to share yourself and to share what's going on. I don't even know how to end this. I guess I just have to go get the kids from soccer, so I'll just end it like that. Appreciate you watching, and Cody, if you've watched, you know, I appreciate all you're doing, man. I'll get more involved there. I'm definitely gonna be vlogging more, but these how-to and review videos are just, wow, like, they are hard. Utmost respect. Anyway, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe. And if you've found this content interesting, helpful, and inspirational, be sure to like it. And as always, continue to rock faces, do things that matter. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.